Hey, hotties. Welcome back. The hardest part is the start. And I think all of us have experienced this, doing anything challenging. But after that, almost always it's smooth sailing. And that's not to say you're going to come to any other hard parts, but when we're talking the hardest part, and sometimes that could be the only hard part. In my experience, almost always it is. That could be half of your battle or all of it. So let's talk about the start. Getting over the start. So it's all mind games. And you have to train yourself, okay, it has to become attractive to you. Again, I've said this, I'll say it again, I'll say it always. Your why. Why are you doing this? We'll get into that in a second. Timing. This is big. It can be really big. I'm going to have a session where I do this for an hour, and then I'm going to take a break for this long. That does it for me a lot. Set a timer, time yourself, an hour, 45 minutes. Then I'm going to take a break for this longer. I'm going to do this in this time and then get back to it. And then you think, oh, I only have that long. That's it. Okay, easy. Because you know you want the end result. You know you want the end goal. So when you break it down, it's like, oh, piece of cake. And you may have heard me say this before, but this is so insanely powerful in my eyes. But something I tell myself is, it's easy. And then it becomes easy when you see it as easy. Like, oh, piece of cake. Oh, that's easy. Oh, nothing. Mind games. Because then the hard stuff becomes easy. And maybe part of that is you labeling it as hard. Not to say that it isn't hard, but that could be the case. And sometimes there's not going to be a magical method that you can do that day or in that sitting that's going to make you get to it, right? So sometimes you just got to sit with it. You just got to sit with that challenging feeling. It's going to be uncomfortable, but knowing that you don't grow from a comfort zone, already I'm like, all right, that's the way it is. That's the way it is. And understand that that is a vulnerable state when you are trusting in the unknown. So be loving to yourself in that moment. It's not the easy way to do the hard thing. It's hard. It's not easy. But again, mind games, piece of cake. Tell yourself that you will get faster at this. Tell yourself that you will get better at this. And that will become your reality. And you can have it fast. You can have it now. If you go all the way, if you commit yourself all the way, if you believe so strongly that this is the way and this is the only way and this is how it's going to go, this is how it's going to happen, that is what will be. We're here to create what we want to see. This is insane. I was inspired to get into this from a comment that I commented on, a comment that I replied to and mentioning, talking about how things are hard. And in my last audio podcast, I said one of my favorites, do what is easy and life will be hard. Do what is hard and life will be easy. And someone mentioned that, said that one really hit. And I was like, oh, it gets me. It gets me too every time. That's why it's one of my favorites. And so that's what inspired me to go into this. So we're working through the start. And when you're in the midst of this, doing something challenging, doing the hard stuff, it's so powerful and important to lose your expectations. This goes for everything in life. Because what you want is not always the flow. What you want is not always what the future is going to unfold. I really don't mean to rhyme when I rhyme. You don't have to do it perfect. You don't have to do it right. You just have to show up. You don't need to know what's going to happen. That's not the point. That's not the point. The point is, because you don't know the future. You can't predict what's going to happen in that sitting, right? Let's say you're creating something. Maybe the goal is just expression. Maybe the goal is to feel better. Maybe the goal is you're building. You're completing a piece, a project. Again, letting go of your expectations. Knowing that you don't have to know what's going to happen, because when you're losing your expectations, you are not saying it has to go like this, and this. It has to be one of the greatest, this one. It has to be, I want to make one of the greatest pieces of work I've ever created. It might not be the day for that. It might not be the time for that. And hey, guess what? Maybe what comes of that session and that sitting is not one of your greatest, your personal favorites, but maybe it's someone else's favorite. Maybe it ends up being one of your favorites down the line. Just be like, I'm going to trust whatever comes to me in this moment. I'm going to trust whatever progress that I make in this moment. I'll end on your why, because that may be the most powerful thing that's going to help you, that's going to pull you, that's going to take you through all of what comes with having a goal, doing the hard stuff, doing the work. Let's get specific and give more examples on what your why could be. Man, some came to me earlier today and I was like, period. That's all the drive I need. Get really specific. Man, do you have a pet and you want to give it the best food, the best toys, the best, can that drive you? Is someone you love struggling in life for for this reason or that reason? And what if you could help them? What if you could give them a hand? Do you want to be by the ocean all the time? Why are you doing the hard stuff? What do you see? What can you see as a result from that? Feeling better is something hard that you want to do, working out, moving your body in ways. Well, that's going to enrich your life like no other. Why am I doing this? Because I want to connect with the kindreds. Even just talking in the comments makes my whole last day. The real ones are spread out. We're all over. And this is a beautiful way to connect with others. The ones who see eye to eye. I imagine one day I know. One day I'll be able to buy any musical equipment that I want. That's crazy. That's crazy. I'm going to look back at this and be like, yo, that's crazy. That's crazy. I'm just thinking of helping animals, doing the hard stuff so that, like your why. So many animals that need help all over the world, and you can be a voice for the voiceless. All right, hotties.